Good morning, it's Valley FM again. Good morning, it's our second show today. It's the 2nd of June, a Tuesday. Not a very sunny one at that. And we're very happy to say hello to you again. In today's show, we have many things, a great many things actually. Today, we first have 3B, which are already eager for me to say hello to them. Hello, guys. Hi. Hello. We'll be looking at their projects that they did for speaking for the last third term, online actually. So for a speaking project to be online, I can't wait to see what they have to tell us. After that, we have Sarah, a former collaborator of the show, and if you're a fan, you will remember her from her random news section a couple years ago. Sarah will be interviewing a parent from the school today that she's acquainted with. After that, we also have we feature for the first time the full album by Nothing Good, also called Nothing Good, and we will comment that with one of the members of the band's classmates. Gabriel, we're talking about his classmates, my 4th of ESO students, who will be commenting on Gabriel's personal life and also his music. So, in yesterday's show, we talked about many things really. It was a 4-hour-long show, but yeah, we talked about online learning primarily, which is the reason why we're doing this radio show, to show how online learning actually works. A lot of you reached out and told us what you thought about online learning and our show as well. So thank you very much for that. Special thanks again to Nothing Good, who congratulated us for the show and thanked us for using their music. Thank you guys actually for letting us borrow your music. Without further ado now, good morning everybody. Good morning 3B. Hello guys.
Good morning.
Sorry I kept you waiting. How's it going? Did you guys listen to the show yesterday? If only to find yourselves. Did you listen to the show yesterday? No? Yes?
Not me.
Not me. Okay.
Other times.
Are you guys very busy now? What are you?
We still have class.
Yeah. No, I get that. I totally get that. And what about subjects? I asked you yesterday if you knew if you had failed anything. You told me not really. Um, any
No,
unpleasant surprises?
no, like yesterday our tutor gave us all the marks.
Uh-huh.
There weren't many like fails. I
Yeah,
think like a
yeah.
few.
Exactly.
So
It's a good thing this year that well, it was, and let us clarify this, because we heard a lot of rumors about you know, when the government made that predicament about, or pronouncement about what was going to happen in the third term and the rest of the academic year, and then the press understood it in a different way than it was then published as a law. So the initial talk of the town really was that everybody would just generally pass. We would all get, you guys would all get a general pass, because this year you could not fail this year, which is not true really. What they really meant is something that is always put into practice, I think, that the general rule should be that people do not get put back, do not do the year again, that they promote to the next year, which is something that almost always happens, really. It's very rare to find a student have to take the year again, which again is nothing to do with people taking one subject or one term for that matter. People could have failed the first two terms and have to resit that. However, I think it was positive in the sense that most people had to, I think we mentioned this yesterday, most people who had failed any given terms in subject could potentially resit those by way of assignments rather than exams. So you guys didn't have to do any exams or anything for to retake or to recover a term that you'd failed previously, but simply do an assignment or other. Is that right?
yes, yes, we couldn't take any tests, so they basically sent either a project or like a bunch of like exercises to do them. And if you got them like right and you handed them in time, like you pass.
And now that we mentioned tests, you and I tried a couple times, I think, to if it wasn't really an exam, but it was like more like a test to make sure that you guys had understood grammar. In this case, I think we did one for reported speech and another one for passives. And we used this app called Quizzes, which, if you're listening to us and you don't know what Quizzes is and you're a teacher and you're interested and yada yada yada, check it out, because Quizzes is a really good tool. And no, they're not giving me any money to say this. They are actually, honestly, a very good tool. So yeah, we used that. If you remember, what were the good things and the bad things about Quizzes that you remember?
I mean, I like that it was kind of like Kahoot. It was similar to that. And like the sense of just like it's a game. So you're basically learning and it's a game. That's like the number one thing.
Mm-hmm. Because
Terms,
for anyone who's listening and doesn't know what Kahoot is, or Quizzes, since we are comparing it to that, they're both web pages to which allow you to create a game as a teacher, and then host that game and play it with your students. How does that happen? Well, they can connect via their devices. Let it be a phone. A phone is essentially the best option, I think. But it can be a phone. It can be an iPad or tablet. It can be another computer. Yeah, exactly. And so the game you are hosting provides you with a code, with a number that your students have to use in their devices, in their individual or group devices, and they play with that as their buzzer, like in TV shows, like in TV quiz shows. And so they press the answer to questions they are looking at in your screen. This is face-to-face learning, obviously. And it's like again, it's like a live quiz show, really. The way we adapted that to online learning was that, well, because as we explained yesterday, we can share our screen as a teacher in the class. It was essentially the same thing as being in face-to-face learning, except you are missing all the excitement of people shouting and all of that. But in a way, it's also positive. And because you have limited time, and I want to talk about that now, because you have limited time to give an answer, that is also making sure, in a way, from a teacher's perspective, that I think, and you guys will have to be honest with me on this one, I think that basically prevents people from trying to cheat. What do you guys think?
Yeah, because they don't have time like to ask someone else or...
Yeah. It's literally, I think it literally, they make it impossible for you to copy, because let's say, for example, to give an example of what we're talking about, we have a question with 4 answers. So, and you have 20 seconds to answer that question. By the time you finish reading those answers, even if you are reading them to someone else who is trying to help you do it, let's say you're either on the phone with someone, if possible, if you are on the call with me, but that can happen. Let's say, for example, that you are on the call with me and you mute your phone. I'm trying to think from the perspective of a criminal student. I mute my microphone, so I am on the phone with someone else, and I tell them, hey, look, this is the question I have. I'll read it to you. I read the question, read the 4 answers. By the time I finished, the 20 seconds are gone. So I need to reach a decision. I have like a few seconds, like between 3 and 5 seconds, to really reach a decision, which, again, a negative aspect about that, well, sometimes because you are in a hurry, you don't get it right. So you miss more answers, I think, because you have limited time. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yes, like you see, like I only have 5 seconds left. Like, which one do I pick?
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. I remember Pablo once mentioned that. He told me, let us please either do that test again or let me do another one, because well, I for the first couple questions I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't have time to pick my answer. So yeah, that's also a negative part. So yesterday we were talking with
Yes, also because my Wi-Fi is so laggy.
Your what?
My Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, your Wi-Fi is shit. So yeah. That's another aspect to consider. That's another factor, obviously, in online learning. Wi-Fi. Shit Wi-Fi can be your nightmare, your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Right. So today, what I thought we could do was comment on your project, if that's okay with you. In fact, specifically your project, your guys' project, Diego, Pablo, I don't know if Monica's here, and Daniel's project. So I'm going to ask you first, because you and I both know what we're talking about, but because we're talking to an audience who doesn't know anything about what we did, could you explain to me what I'm talking about, what project I'm talking about, step by step, like I was your grandma?
It's a project in which you give us a 2 minutes video of an episode of South Park, and we have to take out the sound of the episode, and we have to like dub all the kids that are talking, and that's it.
Very good. That's perfect. What's that? Sorry, Pablo.
He said, I think he said that he used South Park.
No, yeah, but he mentioned.
South Park.
He mentioned. I think Diego mentioned. Great, Diego. Thank you for your explanation. What about you said we had to dub. That's the key word, actually. In fact, we call it the dubbing project. What is dubbing? If you had to explain dubbing to your grandma, let's assume that your grandma can speak English, because otherwise she's just listening to a Japanese person speak to her.
It's like to repeat. It's like to repeat someone else, but with different words, and it's like to imitate someone, but saying different words and trying to match your words with his mouth.
Very good. It's basically giving your voice to a character. Is what happens in cartoon series in general, because it's a simple thing. I'm sorry if you guys didn't know this, but cartoons are not real. So because they're not real, someone has to speak for them. They're just, movements basically of images that are moving, and we give the illusion that they are real characters. But there is obviously a human being behind them, either, as you say, imitating another voice, or giving their own voice. That's also a possibility. Some examples, obviously, some very famous examples of very successful cartoons. For adults, obviously, we're talking about are The Simpsons, South Park, the one we're using, Family Guy, Rick and Morty. And the reason why we use these, for anyone who's wondering, oh my god, South Park is such an awful series for kids underage. The reason why we're using South Park is, well, because I happen to think that South Park is a great satire of our time. It criticizes, it uses a lot of the things that happen in real life every day, and we could use that. In this case, in this episode, if you remember, what were the images in the episode that we had to deal with? What happened in the images only? Do you remember?
Yes, they were laughing with Alexa, and then Eric discussing with the girlfriend.
Perfect. That's the best summary ever. Yeah, there are a bunch of kids. They are laughing because they're using Alexa. You can see Alexa there. If you play it without sound, that's it. There's Alexa. There's kids laughing, and then someone comes and starts arguing with Eric. We learn later, or we assume that is Carmen's girlfriend, and most of you in your projects, that's how you scripted it. So Diego said that you had to match the movement of the mouth, and that constitutes dubbing, basically, because well, if it's just speaking and there is no movement of the mouth at the same time, you don't believe that you're watching something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is essentially dubbing. How did we do it? How did you guys do it? What was the starting point? Sorry.
We first with the subtitles we put to that episode, like we copied it. We copied it in the how do you say the page? It was not a puzzle. It was
Paddle.
yes, with paddle. We invent some phrases that make sense and have almost the same words, and then we make the script, and then with WhatsApp audios we send them to Monica, and Monica joined them in
with
Movie Maker.
Yes, with Movie Maker. Was it? Monica's not here. Yes, we gave the chance to do it with obviously.
No.
What's that?
No, she's not here.
No, she's not. Sometimes she is, but not today. I was saying that there was a possibility. Obviously, I had to make sure that every student could do this from their home, no matter what computer they had, what version of a computer, laptop, Mac, what have you, even phone they had. So so I browsed a little. I obviously you and I had some experience with this because we'd done some subtitles for another video in the past. So what I thought was best to do is if everybody used one program that comes with the computer by default. So in the case of Mac, it was pretty simple. iMovie. There is no Mac without iMovie. It's always there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to. I didn't want for you to have to download any software because some people may have, like we said, a better Wi-Fi. Some people may have a worse Wi-Fi. Some people might be using their parents' computers, and perhaps their parents don't want any software that their children's English teacher is asking them to download. So I couldn't. That was completely out of the question. So for Mac, like I say, iMovie. Now for Windows, it was complicated because there used to be this thing called Movie Maker, as you call it. But not every in the latest version of Windows 10, not every version includes it. Some in fact is not included in that version, and the equivalent now is basically a third-party software. So software that has been created by someone else, equivalent software. However, what we do have, and that was my most of my tutorials were based on that. What we do have is photos. There's a photo editor that comes with Windows 10 by default, Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7 actually, that you can use to edit videos. And it's super easy to use, I think. It's pretty basic actually. You can do the three core things that we needed, which is you can crop the video, you can well you didn't really need to crop the video, but you can crop the video, you can silence the video and substitute the music with or the sound with your own sound, that you could select the files from your computer, and yeah, you can watch the video and and see how long they open their mouth for, or they keep moving their mouth for, so you know how much you had to speak, for how long you had to speak. So yeah, Diego was saying first you downloaded the video, I suppose. Yeah. What did you do? How did you know what you had to say?
We had
So you set up groups and you wrote your lines, yeah, a script.
Yes.
How and I think Diego already mentioned that we were using something called Padlet, which is nothing more than a very simple collaborative notebook online, which we used because that gave me access to your scripts basically, and that was a very good way for me to keep track of what you were writing and whether or not you were working towards your towards the end. So we dedicated some lessons to that, and then what did we do after that?
The audio.
Yes.
You recorded the audios. What with?
With WhatsApp.
Yeah, pretty much. I remember I was thinking about this, and to make it again as simple as possible, I thought, well, for me, an adult, I was thinking they can use audio notes from from any of their phones, assuming, because I think very rightly assuming that everybody your age has a phone these days, because you do. So I thought, well, no matter how crappy their phone is or old their phone is, they must have an audio recording device. But then speaking with you, I realized that most of you never use it. So we came to the conclusion, I think, that the best way possible was if we use WhatsApp, because at the end of the day, you guys were exchanging information and files for the project, really. So it was easier that way. So you recorded those WhatsApp messages, and what was something I was very insistent on about the WhatsApp recordings? Do you remember?
That we don't have like the time put now, like from what second to what second.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, because we were looking to include those audios in the video later, we would need obviously to know when they started, and because there was one person in charge in the group in charge of, in your case Monica, I think you mentioned, there was one person in charge of using the photo editor to put every single recording in the right place. Well, basically the best way to do that was or the most organized way to do that, I thought, was to rename the audio files with the minute and second in which they started, let's say.
No, but we sent her the audios with like in order. So I think she downloaded them in order, so she knew where to put every audio.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very good actually. It's a very good way to well, as long as you organize yourselves, there really is no single way to do it. There are many different ways. Okay, and the final result, I think the best thing is if we just watch it. So here it goes. Let me. What did you think about the project overall?
I like it. I think it was fun to do it, and we learned more English. I think it was good.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think you learned? Can you be more specific? In which way?
Because I think it was like difficult to. What?
What was that? Paolo, you're gonna have to say that again because it was very strange.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, Theo, you were saying something. Paolo breaks up.
We like search words that were similar to the one that say that the character says. And I don't know. I think there we learn some, and I don't know. I think we are.
Yeah. I think so too. Well, I hope so too. Actually, the intention, obviously, of the project was that you guys learned something with it, because we were practicing writing, we were practicing speaking, and we were also practicing listening to some extent, because you guys had to interpret what the real episode said. Not so much to say something similar, but obviously to see how real life dubbing actors do what they do, so that you could do it in a similar way. Okay, here goes your project.
Hey lads, look this new shit. Alexa, why I have my dick so big and hairy?
Features of genetic, and you can stink it from your father.
Why the guy of the big dick is so fat?
Is because of his diet based on saturated fats.
Alexa, say that Butters is a stupid indigent that nobody likes.
Butters is a stupid indigent that nobody likes.
Alexa, say that Eric doesn't stop eating bones all the time because he's addicted to them.
Eric doesn't stop eating bones all the time.
Oh, fucking Ike. That one was so good. You don't think Alexa is the best invention?
How is going, my boy?
Hey, my girl. What's up? I'm having fun with my friends, talking with Alexa and making jokes.
Can I talk with you one moment?
I don't want to talk with you in this moment.
You never want to tell to me. I don't know what this relationship is based on. Fucking fat.
Well, I think we should go. Go to my house. The PlayStation is better.
Okay, lads, go out and fuck you all.
It's a croissant and relax a little bit, fucking fat.
Look what you did. Now I am angry with my friends because of your fault.
I don't care
bitch.
about your friends. Sometimes it seems that you like more Alexa than me.
I don't care about your idea. Shut up and leave my house.
Why are you talking to me like this, sweetheart?
Oh.
Are you sure you want me to go? If I go, I won't come back.
Silence.
You're just a fucking piece of fat with eyes. You have no feelings.
Jesus. Alexa, why the girls eat a lot of shit?
I think that you are the one that eat shit.
Okay, so there it was. I think I already mentioned this when I gave you guys your when I gave you my feedback on the and my mark for this project. I think I told you guys that my favorite thing about your project was how accurately, especially towards the end, the voices were in relation to when the mouth moved, which is a challenge, obviously. I remember when especially when Cartman is saying at the end, is speaking to Alexa again. He goes, Alexa, and you can see that that's when the original sound was intended to be. So that was really well done by Pablo over there. Also, one of my favorite things, one of my the funniest moments, I think, is when Monica, who's playing Heidi, Heidi is Carmen's girlfriend. When they're they're starting to get angry, and then the camera moves to see all the kids who are starting to think that they should probably leave because there's an argument by a couple and that's uncomfortable for everyone. And Heidi says, "Fucking fat," which is not really. It's not really. Heidi's not moving her mouth at that moment, but you know. But Monica does a very good thing of moving her mouth. Of moving her mouth, of saying that, because it makes so much sense. It makes a lot of sense there. So I ask you, what was your favorite thing about doing this project?
What project?
The project of Hi Lucia, how's it going? Good. We are live on YouTube, actually. I don't know if you have heard or anything, but right now we are on Valley FM and we're live on YouTube, and people are listening to us. Some people are listening to us. So if you want to say hello to someone, this is your moment.
Hello.
Great. So we're just explaining to the audience about the project that we did, dubbing South Park, the speaking project. That hopefully you will remember because you had to do for last week. So we just watched Monica's, Diego's, Pablo's, and Daniel's projects, and we are commenting on it. So what was your favorite thing about doing this project?
I don't know. I think I like the like to change the voice of the not the voice, the I don't know how to say it. It's like to change what they say and say other things that make sense, but don't have anything to be with the
With the
episode.
actual thing. Yeah. I think I was worried at first. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was worried at first that you would think that it was impossible. Not what you would think, actually, that it would be difficult to change the action into something it's not, because it was very clearly what the image is. So obviously you're limited. You cannot just say, "Oh, let's pretend that we are playing football." No, because that's not what it's not going on. That's not going on. So I thought that you guys would just keep the script the way it was and not change much. But I was very pleasantly surprised in that every group did a different thing, and although obviously all of you shared a common thing, which was the scene, what was going on.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant job anyway. Pablo, are you still there?
Yes.
What do you think was the most difficult thing about this project?
Well, for me, it will be the part that my Wi-Fi works so slow, and I don't.
Yeah, don't worry. Sometimes we hear you, and now we were
Something
hearing
like
you
that.
more or less. So I think you were saying that the most difficult part was to put the audios in the video, yeah? So what Monica
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I agree with you, which is why I thought and I insisted a lot on making it easy for that person.
Yeah.
Because if we left everything for the end, you obviously you can crop. If you speak for too long, or if there's a lot of there's a long silence in your recording, you can think to yourselves, well, we can crop that later when we can adjust that to the video. But if you have to do it for every single recording, and every single recording you have to re-listen to and try to put in the right place, it's a nightmare. And this video was only 2 minutes long, which was on purpose because it was like an experiment to see how. But imagine we had to do half an hour of this. How long do you think we would need? Yeah. And the person, the Monicas of the groups, let's say, the person who puts everything together in the video editor would go crazy, really, if they had to listen to every, because you're looking at half an hour of puzzle audios, really, because it's like a puzzle. You have to put every piece in the right place. And when it's just 2 minutes, you can say, oh yeah, I remember this goes here. We talked about this. But when it's half an hour, it's
You
almost
remember
impossible.
things.
There might be similar moments to one or other, and when what you're looking at is just a silent video, it's a different story, because you say, I think it was here, but he's moving his mouth for 3 seconds, and then later he's also moving his mouth for 3 seconds, this character or other. So it's difficult to know when it has to be. Right. I want to hear it from other people who were not from this group. So Anna, for example, or Carlos, anyone. What do you think of their project in comparison to yours? I say their project because it's the one we just watched.
Yes, I think it was great, as you said, the thing that they were able to put their voices right where the characters would speak was really good. I also think like the voice that they actually put like for Alex and stuff was really clever.
Yeah.
And I think it was great. I think they really did the best job of the class.
You think it was the best?
Yes, I think it was the best out of it.
I wouldn't say there is one particular assignment that was the best. I would say that all of them were really great in how they were very well done, all of them, and the level was more than satisfactory, I would say. So it wasn't just that people just passed, did the bare minimum to pass. You excelled every possible expectation. You both Hassan and myself had. Hassan is the speaking assistant for this class, for my class of 3B, and he also helped guide and grade the project. What okay, what was the hardest thing in relation to organizing the group like this online? Do you think it would have been different if you guys had been we'd all been in class in the same place?
Yeah.
How different? How easier? More difficult?
I think easier.
Easier if we had been in school.
But now I think it's almost the same because in online we could talk with WhatsApp and it's like the same as talking face
In
to face.
person, yeah.
Yeah.
Minus the smell, because some people don't smell well. We are not going to say names, but we all know who they are. No.
Yes, I think it was in terms of like actually recording the audios. I think it was easier that we were each one like on our homes, like just to do it with our phones and stuff. But I just think in terms of communicating, it would have been better to be a class.
Yeah.
Since you're literally in front of them, they can. It's not like they can avoid you or ignore you.
That's very well said. I agree with you. So maybe perhaps if we could choose, imagine in an imaginary world, if we could choose which parts of the assignment we wanted to do face to face and which parts we wanted to do online, maybe a mixture would be very positive. Like, for example, we could get together in class to divide the work.
Yeah.
And maybe write the script together in the same place at the same time. Then maybe go home to record your voices separately, because you are going to record them separately anyway, and concentrate better. And then get together again so that the final mounting of the whole project on the video was also a combined activity. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
we could have done it that way. Yeah, I agree with you. Right. Okay. So that was that, really. And just to show the audience now a little trick, I think, about I'm going to call it of how difficult, let's say, communication is in online learning, because you guys are mentioning communication is more difficult now. I think we're used to it now. We're used to waiting to see what the other person has to say, let them finish, try to make out what they say, even when they break up, like what happened with Pablo earlier, and then maybe process that information and then produce an answer. Whereas, which is not entirely negative, I think it's also a positive thing. Is this experience has re-taught us how to talk with others, how to talk listening to others. But yeah, so I'd like to do an experiment with that. So I'm gonna ask you guys the same question, like one same personal question or something like that, and each of you will have to answer that question. Then and then I'll let you know what we do after that. I'm just gonna ask you questions, okay? You have to be as honest as possible answering them. So Marcos, are you there?
Yes.
Yes. What do you like doing in your free time, Marcos?
In my house.
Wherever your free time is.
I like doing maths,
Doing problems with maths.
playing video games, talking with friends.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah.
Pablo, same question. What do you like doing in your spare time?
He's gone.
Yeah.
Sport.
Fixing Wi-Fi. Sport. Okay, sport. Anna, what do you like doing in your free time?
I like writing and watching series.
Nice. What about you, Diego?
I like playing video games
Uh-huh.
and talking with friends like Marcos.
Ines, same question.
I like to play basketball and read.
Great. Alexis, are you there?
Yes.
What do you like doing in your free time?
Play football and stay with my friends.
And being with your friends. I don't know if Carlos has a microphone. I don't think he does. Does he?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah?
Sometimes he has it and sometimes no, because I
Yeah,
think
he's very clever in how he sometimes he makes you think that he's not there.
Yes.
Oh, great! Hello, Carlos. What do you like doing in your free time, mate?
Play Xbox.
Playing what?
Xbox.
Playing Xbox. Great. Daniel, if you're there and you have a microphone, which I know you have, and I know you do. I know you are, and I know you do.
Yes.
Great. What do you like doing in your free time? And don't tell me eat tacos.
No. Play games.
Playing what? Video games as well.
Play a bit of sport.
Great. Alba, with you we would be complete if you're there.
Eating guacamole.
she doesn't have a microphone.
She doesn't have a microphone, however. Okay. You can respond, Alba, in the chat if you want, but to feel included and stuff. Right. So now, next question. Who do you love the most in your family? Anyone can start, really. Marcos, for example.
Repeat the question, please.
Yeah, who is your favorite person in your family? This is a terrible question.
My brother.
Your grandfather. Great. You didn't hesitate. So if they are listening to you and they can speak English.
No, my brother.
Oh, your brother. Sorry, I thought you said your grandfather. See, this is what the experiment is all about. Inés.
My grandfather.
Your grandfather. Good. Not Marcos's grandfather. Your grandfather.
No, mine.
Okay, all right. That makes sense. Anna, your favorite person?
My aunt.
Your aunt. Good. Pablo? Your Wi-Fi.
Yes. We have to let him some
Your
time.
favorite person is the technician from Movie Star. Carlos just left. The tension is starting to build. Diego, what is your favorite person?
I think my father.
Great. And now that we're here, can you also invent whose favorite person Pablo is?
I think his brother, because I think they have a good relationship.
Great. Perfect. Daniel, favorite person in your family?
So,
My cat. I don't
Your
know.
cat.
My cat. Yes, my cat.
Right. Alexis. Your cat as well, or Daniel's cat? I don't hear you now. I can't hear you now. His Wi-Fi is also, yeah. He's orange technician. Right. Yeah, we more or less have it, I think. I'm just gonna say that I'm surprised that you all had an answer to this question, because the easiest answer to this question is probably, oh, I couldn't choose, don't make me choose. But yes, everybody has someone who's their favorite. Right. Least favorite teacher in the school. Anna. Least favorite. Well, no, this is not to say let's not start hatred circle or anything. Don't tell me, oh, I hate whoever. In fact, we're going to go with your least favorite teacher of all time.
So
Ruben.
Okay, Paulo.
So what teacher
Paulo, I can't
has
hear you. That's the Wi-Fi. That's a problem. Anna, you were saying.
So it can be like a teacher that gave us class like years ago, or it has to be like from
Exactly. It can be someone who taught you years ago.
I think I have to like either Azucena or Esther Franco.
Okay, everybody has their own reasons. Inés?
Azucena.
Okay. Someone else? Alba? No, sorry, Alba. Alexis, actually. Alba doesn't have a microphone again.
The same as Athena.
Wow, this is not going where I wanted it to go. Marcos.
It was a teacher from 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember her name.
Wow.
But it reminds me like a rat. It was a rat.
Like what
You mean
subject?
physically, or their behavior?
It was the teacher of Anna.
Okay.
In 6th frame.
Oh, I think his name was Laura. I don't know. I don't remember.
And Diego, I think you haven't said.
I think a teacher of how to say infantil
Nursery, yeah.
of nursery that I had. I think it was the worst teacher ever I had.
Wow, that's
she
a good memory.
always kicked me out of the class. And I don't know. She always told my parents I behave very bad in class. And things like that. And I don't know. I don't like her since that.
You know, some people have a lot of prejudice against people with sponge hair. So maybe it was that. Daniel.
For sure.
Okay. Now, if it's a Friday, okay, and Friday night, and you want to get something to eat, some food, because you're craving, you know, what are you most likely to eat on a Friday night and when you're hungry? Anna.
Like pizza or something.
Pizza. Can you be more specific? Like pizza from.
Like yes, like a Domino's, like pizza with.
Okay, very good. We want to say hello to Domino's from here, in charge of our nutrition all these years. Especially me, I was a university student, so I have a lot to thank them for. Pablo. Pablo.
What?
Favorite? No, sorry. Friday night food. What do you eat? Salad.
Yes.
Very good. Well, I believe him because he eats carrots in the playground. So whatever he says,
But
he's super healthy.
he eats carrots in the playground since he was 5 years old.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe. I don't know. He's.
Yes.
He has
Yes, like
healthy
always
habits.
like it's carrots and some pieces of like cheese.
Yeah.
You're so healthy.
No, but always since nursery.
Since
Yes.
nursery.
I remember.
Daniel, I didn't realize you guys have known each other for such a long time. All your lives, really. You've been together. That is very cute.
Yeah.
Daniel, same question. Friday night food.
Pizza, I think.
Pizza.
Some tacos.
Ines. Ines?
Pues pizza. So
Pizza. Good. Alexis?
The same.
The same. Pizza. Any particular brand? Also Domino's. Do you want to make free publicity of another brand? They're not gonna pay us. In fact, no one pays us. Well, the school pays me, but not to do this specifically. They pay me to do other things. Diego.
If you have to take a pizza, Telepizza. Telepizza is always
Domino's.
Domino's.
Say shit.
Also, we would like to say hello to Telepizza in general. Diego thinks you're shit, but you know, freedom of expression.
Yes, but he's on the sponge.
We'd also like to say hello to everybody who gets bullied in the world. We are with you. I think Marcos is missing. No, everybody answered.
No, me.
Oh,
I think pizza also or sushi. I think sushi.
pizza or sushi? Yeah.
Yeah.
which is like saying, I'm hungry. I don't know if I want a glass of milk and cookies or a Big Mac.
Yeah.
But okay, perfect.
I don't know. It depends on the Friday.
It depends on the Friday. Right. So here goes the second part of my experiment. In fact, the real experiment now. Alexis,
What?
do you remember what Anna said she likes to do in her free time?
Yes.
What did she say?
Right. Right.
What's interest?
Anna, correct?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
was
She said
correct.
writing. Good, very good,
He was
Alexis.
so confident with his answer.
Yeah, he was like, of course I do.
Yes.
Right, Marcos,
Yes.
do you remember what Diego said his favorite thing to do in his free time was?
Yes. Playing video games and talk with friends.
Correct, Diego?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay, Diego, what did Ines say her favorite person in her family is?
His grandparents.
Her
His
grandparents?
grandfather.
Yeah,
His grandfather, I think.
more precisely, her grandfather. Okay, Ines, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me who's who is Anna's favorite person in her family?
Her aunt.
Her aunt. Very good. Bolu, do you remember who Alexis chose as his favorite person in his family?
No, I don't remember. I think his brother.
No.
I think
I don't remember.
we didn't answer. We didn't ask him actually. I think, right, Alexis?
No, I think he said his cat.
No, he broke up.
No,
Bolu said his cat, and then Alexis, we asked him, and there was some silence, I think, and we just assumed because there was like a sound. Someone said like, cat, and I think we just assumed that it was his cat.
Yeah.
That's why I remember. Right, Diego. What is Pablo's favorite food for a Friday night?
Salad.
Salad.
Yeah.
Pablo, what is Marcos's favorite food for a Friday night? Although it's everybody's favorite food for a Friday night, but
Pizza.
pizza, great. Marcos,
From what restaurant?
Marcos, Alexis's least favorite teacher of his career.
Azucena.
Yeah, I think he said that. Right. So with this experiment, the idea was to demonstrate the level of listening memory, let's say, that we can have, that you students can have. And I think that you guys have demonstrated that even though we do not see each other, and even though we're not in the same room, and we don't always have the same visual stimulus, that you guys, if you want to, you can pay attention and you can remember a lot of details, in fact, every single detail about what happened in the class, right?
Yes.
What do you think? Yes, no?
Yes.
Right, perfect. We've reached the end of our lesson today. If you wanna stay here with me, be my guest. If not, just stay tuned to the program. Okay. We have coming up Sarah with us after this break that we're going to now. Bye, guys. I'll see you
Bye. See you.
tomorrow.
Bye.
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 Over.
want a Marco Diaz or Adriana Grest in your life? Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home? Then, are you tired of watching Netflix alone? Did you cry watching The Kissing Booth? Do you want a Marco Diaz or Adriana Grest in your life? Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home? Then download Salupa, a dating app for El Valle students. With this app, you will find your own Noah Flynn. Salupa, the best choice for your lonely life.
This is Valley FM.
Hey, did you hear Valley FM's back?
That's groovy.
You're listening to Valley FM.
We have the alternative for your bad days. If you come to see us in the playground, we will have ballots available for all of you. You will get them for €2. Are you tired of your backpack of always? Here you have a purchase for a brand new backpack every day. There is a novelty in the market. The new Ruben juice comes full of vitamins so that children never get tired of playing and never stop speaking English.
Do you think your parents might kill you if they go to your tutorial? Do you want to be able to leave early whenever you want? Then you should hire our services. We offer actors to play your mother or father and go to your tutorials instead of your real ones. And give you fake permission to leave early. Only for a small fee. Call us.
Are you tired of watching Netflix alone? Did you cry watching Monsters, Inc.? Do you want an Emma Watson, Scarlett Johansson in your life? Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home? Then download Salupa, a dating app for El Valle students. With this app, you will find your own Kate Beckett. Salupa, the best choice for your lonely life.
Are you struggling to pass that stupid subject? Do you need some help with the next exam?
We have the best cheat notes of Fantinaro. We cover everything from ESO exams to bachelor exams.
Buy two and receive a free German cheat note. Brutal cheat notes. Simply brutal.
Es la leche.
We have the alternative for your bad days. If you come to see us in the playground, we will have ballots available for all of you. You will get them for €2. Do you hate shopping and having to buy many different colored t-shirts? Because here we bring you a color tint t-shirt for every day. There is a novelty in the market. The new Ruben juice comes full of vitamins so that children never get tired of playing and never stop speaking English.
Are you struggling to pass that stupid subject? Do you need some help with the next exam?
We have the best cheat notes of Fantinaro. We cover everything from ESO exams to bachelor exams.
Buy two and receive a free German cheat note. Brutal cheat notes. Simply brutal.
Es la leche.
Okay, we're back from that break, a very necessary break. That was good time well spent with my students in 3B. And next up we have Sarah Angoso from 4th of ESO, students in 4th of ESO. She was a member of this radio project a couple of years ago, and this year she was very interested in doing radio again. She interviewed, I think, someone from the school, a parent that she's a friend of, and she'd like we are going to hear that now.
Are you
Los cortos es para... So, okay, today in our program we are having Pilar. I know you as Pilar Santi because you are my lifetime neighbor. I don't know. So, yeah, let's have some points about you. Okay, so you are Pilar, you are a woman, and you are an entrepreneur. So, first of all, I wanted to clarify that a part of being a businesswoman, you're also a mom. So, how do you feel being a mom and also having to deal with all your troubles for business?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that regarding conciliation with personal life, and especially if you have kids and business life, I'm not sure that being an entrepreneur is more difficult than working in a company. We work too many hours culturally, and probably when you're an entrepreneur, you really are available 24 hours a day. You do not disconnect. But on the other hand, you also have the option to have flexibility. So I would say that it's more about organizing or fixing like some limits, some time to disconnect or whatever, than really being it more difficult because you're undertaking.
Okay, so that also hits another of my points, and it's like, how do you do to, let's see how I make it, like, you have a routine, like, every morning you go like, okay, I have to do this, this, and this, and also, like, I don't know, tell me a little bit about your daily life.
Yeah, I'm extremely defocused, and extremely disorganized, and I have no routines at all.
That's helpful, really.
So if you read books or whatever about things that are very important, and one of them, and of course, it's very helpful to be organized and planned and whatever, but I'm not like that.
It's hard.
And, well, I think that it depends on your personality. And also, I think that it's something that I always have in my list to do as getting better. But on the other hand, I have met many founders or entrepreneurs who are quite alike to me in this sense. So
it's nice to know that succeeds people.
So I would like to tell that I'm very organized and I plan, but
it's not the reality.
No, not at all.
Okay, well, that was a nice one. Also, okay, we have talked about your personality, I mean, and how you are. So now let's talk about the real matter, you know. The big question will be, how do you do to undertake? But I know that's a real big theme, so let's divide it into topics. So, first of all, when you think about undertaking, do you consider having a physical work to do, or you prefer an online one?
Well, I think that in most of the cases, it's not an option that you have. I think that if you want to be successful, you have to listen to the customer. And the customer is not physical or online or social. It's omnichannel. I mean, you want to go sometimes to a shop to feel, to try or whatever. Sometimes you like the convenience of
online that you only click and it's gone.
And also you like to get in Instagram and find some kind of stories or whatever. So you may decide where you want to focus, because it's extremely complicated and expensive to do everything. But from the customer's perspective, the ideal is the combination. Yeah. So
that's tough. Okay, and also, do you find happiness about what you're doing?
Sure, I think that surely it's the best award for undertaking. Yeah,
that's
I mean,
nice.
I think that people who take the decision to undertake is mainly because they have a need of doing what they are passionate about, or what they love, and to do it in the way they like, and to work with people they like.
To personalize their job.
And to get your passion being live somehow, or whatever in most of the cases. So yes, I do.
That's really nice, actually. Also, okay, now that we have talked about all this, like, let me ask you about your projects, because we have talked about all this, but not about what you do.
Well, I've started a couple of small companies. One of them is dealing with Korean cosmetics. So I'm working with a partner, and we bring Korean brands and we deliver to market. And we do both online and physical e-commerce. We are in some perfumery chains, and we also do online shopping.
Okay.
And recently, I've also started, and this is a couple of weeks ago, where I bring to the neighborhood food products from local producers.
That's nice.
Trying to promote and to support local production, proximity, and to support people who are really bringing the quality that we like at a good price, but of course paying a fair price for it. So that's it, and this has only 2 weeks live.
And how is it going? I mean, like, it has so short life, so...
Well, this is something I set up because with this crisis and so on, thinking about the cosmetics and so on, I thought, oh my God, who's going to buy cosmetics? People are only buying food.
Yeah, that's smart.
And I said, I need something that people repeat the purchase every week, because you sell one cream or one serum.
And it can last for a month.
Exactly. Oh, no, not a month. 2-3 months.
Oh my
4
God,
months.
that's true.
So, and now I see that we have cut most of our purchases except food, which we cannot, we cannot limit. And even with the crisis, we are more conscious about getting better quality, about eating better and healthier, and
as we are moving less, we need better quality.
Yeah, and I think that also we are more conscious about local, about supporting people who we have closed and so on. So just thinking about that.
And you got hide and then you started.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so good, really. Okay. I really love your mentality. Like, really, it's so nice.
Let's see, thanks.
I wanted also to tell me, and everyone, if you have any tricks for starting to undertake. I mean, creativity is a huge one, I know, okay. But apart of that, do you need like any kind of capital? I know it's, how do you say, it's awful talking about money, but it's necessary.
Yes. Well, regarding tips, there's not a magic formula. And you can read a lot of books or whatever about business coaching and so on, and there are like certain recommendations
that may be possible, or
that of course can help or whatever. But I think that today everything is changing so quick that probably what it's the formula today is not the formula tomorrow. But if I could have to recommend something, is, of course, to start you have to make your business plan, and your business plan includes your business model, what do you do, who is your target, how is the market where you want to operate, and which is your difference about in this market. What's going to make that people gets the product or services from you instead of anybody else? What's your difference, and things like that, and of course some numbers. After that, I would say you can do it very detailed and very professional and in depth, or make it very simple. And I think that one thing that I would recommend is make it simple and make it quick. I did a master a couple of years ago, and something that it was repeated and repeated and repeated was a minimum viable product. And they said, if you want to launch a car, launch a scooter, or the minimum viable product to test, to pilot, and to change. Because with your model, you're going to fail. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to fail.
And you have to learn about that.
Exactly. And it's more productive to, of course, to make the exercise, to launch, but to launch a small portion to test and to improve the model, and to be quick. Because if you try to make it perfect, first of all, it will not be perfect.
Yeah.
It will take, you will be out because everything is going too
and you're
quick.
going to be...
You're going to be late, and it's going to be wrong anyway. And also probably another tip for people who wants to undertake, especially young people, would be to do it. Because what I have found is that the learnings, what you get from undertaking, is really valuable. And there are things that, regardless of what you're going to do in life, if you want to work in a company, if you want to work for a public
or you want
position, or you want to make entrepreneurs, the learnings that you get are amazing, and this will be valuable for any job that you may do. So I would also recommend to do whatever, a small test, not with very low investment, but learn from that, because there are things that you're not going to learn at university or a stage in a company or whatever. I mean, all the theory that you've learned, when you go to practice,
it's gone.
Exactly. Yeah. And you will say, this is what I learned, and it's not working. So that's it.
What you have just said is like what many entrepreneurs. You say it really well, but I don't know how to. So yeah, that thing.
Because I'm an entrepreneur.
That thing that you people do. Like many of you say that things that you just have to be quick and do it. Like, don't wait to the people to tell you to give you approbation, because they won't. And when you succeed, they will just be jealous.
Well, I don't know, what I have found as well, and which it's been a bit surprising, is that the entrepreneurship community is really supportive.
Is it?
Really, yes.
I wouldn't imagine that.
You may call anybody that you have not met or whatever and ask, and people are supporting each other. So I also think that this is a really nice thing. And
actually, yes. It's so unexpected. Like, I really thought that people would be like toxic, for just wanting them to succeed, but.
It's not my experience. My experience has been much more in the other sense. People who really, even I didn't know or whatever, and I have just sent an email or give a call or whatever, listening to me and helping me and having a meeting and
that's
explaining.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I'm just flipping out. I don't know how else to explain it. So we are getting mostly to the end of the interview. So,
could I suggest something?
Oh yeah, sure.
Sure. I don't know how much time do we have, but would you like to change the role? for a couple of minutes, and that I'm the interviewer and you're the interview.
Okay.
Because I have explained more or less about me and my projects and so on, but I also know that you have in mind
that thing.
undertaking and so on. So could we change?
Yeah, sure. Give it a try. Yeah.
Okay. So you also have in mind, this and so what's your motivation for that?
Well, that's a bad question because my motivation is earning money.
That's a good one.
So, yeah, it's basically that. Also, I don't know if you're going to ask me about my future projects or if I have any, but to be sincere, I was thinking like just 5 minutes before coming here, I was finishing some flyers to start giving it to people because I want to start a little business about helping elder people. You know, like with the quarantine and everything, it's hard for elder people to get out of their homes for doing shopping or, I don't know, sending documents. So I really thought that they might need help. So I just, in a paper, like started writing my name and saying, "Hi, I'm Sarah and I can help you if you contact me." So yeah, basically that.
Well, earning money must be the first motivation
for everyone.
Yeah, so that's not a bad one. Yeah, but you can do it in many ways. So you can work for a company or you can undertake. So something must be in your stomach to decide.
For telling you to break with the system.
Yeah. So that's it. And which are, when you think about it, do you have any stoppers, roadblocks?
Oh my God, I do.
Do you?
I do, but like really seriously. You know, like how society makes you a bubble. Like they always say, like, okay, you have to study like primary, secondary, and high school and everything. And it's like, okay, I'm going to study this, and then when I have my career, then I will start making whatever I want. But the truth is that, I mean, based in some videos that I've watched, the truth is that we can break with the system and everything and be how we want to be and creating what we want to create. But yeah, I think that, for example, mostly half of my teachers, when I tell them that I want to start a business or whatever, they always go like, okay, but first finish your career or whatever you want to focus on. And it's like, this year I realized that I'm not good at maths nor language and basically nothing. So yeah, like I've been feeling down for that, but I know that I have a project in mind, you know, an objective. So I'm just thinking of focus this on that. So I'm not going to mind what people tell me.
Okay, but you told something. Well, first of all, I'm breaking my role.
No,
I'm starting which is something that I would be fired if I could be.
No worries.
But it's not happening that 1 year. You are not good at maths or language or whatever. This is not happening. There are many circumstances. So first of all, don't judge yourself for that. Don't take so much pressure. This is not real. I don't know about, but I knew that you were good at maths, for example. So it cannot have no. But if you used to, it's not happening that suddenly you're bad at maths. So there are many circumstances. I also would say that everything that you learn is very valuable. It's not that the system makes that you have to do this, and this. It's also true that there are many ways to learn, and it's not only through going, but training and knowledge is very. But as I told before, I would strongly recommend to try and to do it from even a small size or whatever, and you can do it while you make your studies or whatever, because at some point, young people do not have this big pressure of having kids, fixed expenses and so on. So I ask you about your fares and your stoppers, but I think that they are lower when you're young. I mean, you don't have this. And when we get older, there are much more stoppers or limits or whatever. So at some point, you may think that you have very, very few, very little to lose. You don't have anything to lose, first of all. You're not losing anything. You're
always
just
have
getting
the support of your parents and everything.
Yeah, well, but even not. What if you fail? You will have learned. What if you fail? Okay, try another things and whatever. While probably if you take this decision when you've got 2 kids, school expenses, the wages, and so on, it's a pressure that also limits your capacity sometimes of reacting or whatever. Okay, and let me ask you something. Anything during the interview that caught your attention especially? That you think that may serve you in the future for your projects?
What you said about, I don't know how to explain it, okay, but what you said about being happy with what you do, that really touched me, because it's like I've learned, watching some interviews and investigating on the internet, that only this 13% of the population works in things that they really like. And that's like shocking, because learning, studying, and doing everything in your life to end up doing more things that you don't like is like, why? Why are we doing this? So yeah.
Sure.
You're like my Peter Perfect person.
Thank you. This is the official interview. I can tell you afterwards.
No, please, but... Okay, well, that was really nice.
Yes, thank you. Very nice.
I don't know, if something more comes up, just call me and we'll have a second part.
Sure. Lots of luck.
Thank you.
In your projects.
And
because, and yeah.
It's nice.
Keep in touch.
So we have had Pilar, and this is all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was all from Sarah. Thank you very much. That was quite revealing, actually, both as Sarah's teacher and tutor. But I think there was a little bit of drama there, and I'll just say this behind Sarah's back, really. Sarah, it's true, she struggled with maths and Spanish for a while this year, but she eventually passed everything, okay? So, yeah, I think she was being modest, if nothing else, when she was saying, or a bit pessimistic, actually, when she was saying, I'm good at nothing, basically. However, let me just say that I absolutely support anybody's idea to do things in life differently. There's no single career, there's no single path that's going to guarantee success anymore. It's true, your parents, if you're a student and you're listening to this, your parents and your teachers will tell you always to study, to never give up your studies, etc. But, who's to say you don't find your dream job in something else? All right? Next up, we have something really, really exciting, really. We have our fourth VESO students, my fourth VESO students, comment on the new Nothing Good album. Their album that we've been playing, that we played yesterday. We've played some songs from that album yesterday and today, but for the first time, here comes the full album, and like I said, commented by Gabriel's one of the members of the band, who will be here with us shortly on an interview. One of the members of the band's classmates, and also my students. So stay tuned for that. Okay, in this next hour, we're going to be speaking about Nothing Good, which, if you remember, is the band that was created here at Valley FM, Colegio del Valle San Chinaro, really, which is another name for what we do here in this project. In other words, Gabriel and Jorge, whom we spoke about yesterday. If you listened to our show, if you didn't, shame on you, your children, and their children as well. And so today I have my fourth of ESO students, my students properly speaking, because I am their tutor. Hello guys.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, thanks. How are you feeling today?
Good.
Yeah?
Very good.
Not very energetic, right? Probably. Did you get any bad news from any teachers, like you failed this term, or you failed the whole year, or not yet?
No.
Not yet?
No,
not yet, or not never, really. Maybe you got all good news. Yeah, in fact, I should probably give you that information as soon as I have it. But yeah, if there are no news, I guess that's good news. If teachers didn't reach out and tell you anything. So as I anticipated, we are going to be looking at or listening to really Gabriel's songs. Gabriel is also in our class, and so he's your friend to some of you, I suppose, friend, and to others just a classmate, right? But you know him, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
great. Now,
Yes.
what do you think of how much do you know about Gabriel's secret life as a rock star, as a musician, really?
I mean, he's pretty good.
Have you gone to see him or at a live concert, or have you heard him play?
Not really. In the free times, he showed me how he played and his songs. I mean, I think he has created, or he's creating an album of music. I think he likes what he's doing.
Yeah, very good. For those of you who don't know, Gabriel is a drummist. Did you say drummist or drummer? I think you say drummist. He's a drummist in Nothing Good. That's the name of his band. And I assure you, as Alvaro is saying, that they are absolutely everything good rather than nothing good. So perhaps we should change the name of the band. No, really. Together with, like I said, Jorge, another a former student of mine, and also a former member of Valley FM here, they are Nothing Good, the band. And so, yes, as Alvaro pointed out, earlier this year, they recorded an album, and which is also called Nothing Good, and there are 6 tunes in that album, 6 tracks in that album that I'd like you guys to listen to and tell me what you think. So here's the first one. This is called White Shadows. Okay, so first impressions. What did you think? Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is this your kind of music, Sergio? Or anyone really?
Not my kind of music, but I don't think it's bad.
You just don't think it's bad. So for those of you who don't know, again, drums, percussion, right? That's what Gabriel does. Then there's a guitar, obviously, somewhere there. That's what Jorge does. And that's also Jorge's voice there. So he does vocals and he plays the guitar, the main guitar. They used to have a bass player, but sadly he left the band earlier when as they were starting to settle as a band, let's say. So now it's down to the two of them. What do other people think? What do you think about that song in general? What does it remind you of something?
No, it doesn't remind me nothing, but I'm impressed because they are only two people, so that's great.
Yeah, it's great. I agree with you. The first time I saw them, it was Charity Day. Charity Day. We call it in Spanish, if you remember. And I saw them live, and I knew that there were just two of them, and I was very impressed. How much power they put in that, with them being just two. Just the two of them. So yeah. So yeah, I thought it was pretty amazing. Now the next track is called Olivia, and here it is.
Olivia, you're the fucking master. Olivia, your hair is shining. Olivia, you think you're the fastest. Well, Olivia, you're such a disaster. Your hair was shining in the sky. Your eyes were crying, oh, were crying in the night. Oh, help me, I can't remember. Ooh, I can't remember the truth. Oh, girl, you've got me crazy. Whoa, got me crazy again. Olivia, you're the fucking master. Well, Olivia, your hair is shining. Well, Olivia, you think you're the fastest. Well, Olivia, you're such a disaster. Olivia, your hair is shining. Olivia, you think you're the fastest. Wow, Olivia, you're such a disaster. Wow, Olivia.
So that last one was more like a ballad. So obviously the tempo is different. What do you think of that one then?
I don't know. It was good as well.
Yeah?
Yes. Well, I prefer more intense. I mean,
yes, more like active.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think the part of the drum is better in this song.
You think the part of the drums is better in this song? That's very interesting that you say that, Nadia, because, I simply agree with you. I think what Gabriel does in this song is much more powerful, let's say, in terms of with the feeling he's expressing than in the first one, than in White Shadows. Yeah, very good. Now, what do you think about them? About the idea of them playing in English, choosing to sing in English rather than in Spanish?
I think that's
What? Say again. I couldn't hear you, Sergio. Sorry. Sorry. Well, somebody else who has something to say about that. What do you think of them, speaking English, singing in English? Would you be able to do something like that? Would you do that? Would you choose to do that? And why?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
My accent is very bad. So in a song, nah.
Well, it's very funny that you say that because your name is Jorge, and you're my student this year. I am your tutor. This other Jorge was also, I was his tutor as well 2 years ago. And it's very strange for me. Sometimes you remind me of him because of the name. So it's strange that you say, I would never do that. And, he was to be fair, okay, both Gabriel's and Jorge's love of rock music in particular was out of the ordinary, shall we say. They were both music lovers and very, very fond of rock music. So it was no surprise that they started their band, let's say, and they already played their instruments. So, yeah, that's how everything came about, really. Now, their next song is called Tokyo Blues.
Kentucky blues. Well, I'm looking for love at the Tokyo blues.
Nice one. We're here in Valley FM listening to Nothing Good and commenting on it. I'm Ruben, and this is my class of 4th of ESO C. My students, properly speaking. What did you guys think of that last one? Does anybody know what a blues is?
No. Yes, it's similar to jazz.
Yeah. A blues in the world of 50s, 60s rock and roll music is this sort of sad song, normally associated with you will laugh, but with misery, let's say. When somebody has the blues, that's an expression in Spanish. In English, sorry, to be blue or to have the blues is to basically be sad and miserable, and so you express that with a rhythm that resembles your feelings, let's say. And that's what they were trying to convey. Did you think it was a happy song because it was upbeat? Not really, was it?
No.
No. So they do that really well. I want to ask you: do you guys play any instruments yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
I play drums.
You play the drums yourself? Wow.
Yes. So I really like the thing that Gabriel is doing.
Mm-hmm. So have you ever considered, joining someone else and starting your own band?
Never.
Why not?
Because I'm pretty shy, and always when I try to play the drums with someone near me, I can't.
Your hands? Do your hands start to sweat or something?
Yes.
And you can't concentrate well. Well, I'm sure that's something you can work on, really, somehow. Because I think it would be a shame that people, didn't hear your art because of that. So maybe think about that. Now, Paula, and for everyone who was saying, I prefer songs with more, with a faster pace, let's say, and more upbeat and stronger, basically. Listen to the next one. This is called Lord of Universes.
Universe.
Right, that one is, in fact, one of my favorites. I won't say that my favorite song from the album. It's probably the one I've listened to the most, or one of the two I've listened to the most, together with I'm Stupid, which is next. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite songs from this album. Did you like it? Did you like that one?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think is the one that have the best instrumental part.
Yeah, it's incredible. They are both, I think, at their best, both Gabriel and
Yes.
Jorge, and they both have their parts where they shine, I think.
Yes.
Now, from a personal level, you know Gabriel, he's your friend, right? Some of you, I'm sure he's your friend. Others simply your classmate. But after spending a year with him, does he speak much about his artistic side?
I well, with me, yes, but I think that in general, no.
Yeah, he doesn't much, does he? He doesn't. He's very humble in that he doesn't give himself much importance. It's something he does, but he didn't say anything when the
Yes.
album came out. It had to be me. I went to class and said, "Congratulations, Gabriel! You made it. You have your first studio album." And he didn't say much about that. He said, "Well, yeah, that's something." He sees it as a hobby, I think, more than anything else. So he's more focused, I think, on other things.
Well, now he's very focused on this.
His music, yeah.
Yes.
So what does he tell you, Nadia? Tell us.
Now he's writing songs, but now in Spanish.
Now in Spanish.
And he started playing the guitar and the piano.
Wow. So he is on a creative rampage, as it were.
Yes.
Wow, I'm very impressed. I didn't know that, to be honest, because like we said, he never speaks about it unless you ask him specifically. Are you writing songs now, Gabriel? Then he will tell you, yes, I happen to be writing songs. Otherwise, he doesn't tell you shit. His I'm Stupid, his next, also one of my favorite tunes from this album.
is happening. Give me an opportunity. You say that you belong to me. Now you are ignoring me. Baby, bother me. Give me an opportunity, baby. You know that I'm stupid, baby. You know that I'm stupid, baby. I don't know what is happening. But give me an opportunity. You say that you belong to me. And now you try to ignore me. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm
Right, that was I'm Stupid by Nothing Good here on Valley FM. And if you're joining us now, we're listening to the album by the band Nothing Good. It's also called Nothing Good, this album. And we're listening to that with one of the members of the band's classmates, really. All here. Fourth of SOC, my class, really, properly speaking. Now, what did you think of that last one, you guys?
I think it was more like active,
More like?
like more like it was not that slow, more
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. More upbeat, yeah. Is that what you said? Upbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get it at first. Yeah, I agree with you actually. That's really well put. What do other people think? And by the way, you guys used to be 4th FM. You are 4th FM legends actually. How do you think? Am I doing a good job as a radio speaker?
Yes.
Thanks. I thought so. This is what I meant when we did the radio show, pretty much. It's not impossible. But, okay, here's the...
never be alone. And I'm coming home just for you. My heart will be strong, forever strong. It knows it's true. Surrendering is not a way. It's not a way. You have to fight until the end. Until the end. This is war, a terrible war.
That was the last track in Nothing Good by Nothing Good. What did you guys think of that last one?
I really liked it. I mean, I like sad songs, so this song is one of my favorites of the album.
So you had already listened to the album, haven't you?
Yes.
Ah. When it came out.
The day, yes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so you were very privileged, I think. Great, very good. What do other people think? Did you guys like it?
Yes, I think it was very good.
Now that we've listened to the whole thing, I'd like to ask you something. I don't know how much music you've listened to and how much you know about rock, especially, but in general about music genres. Which would you say are the influences of these guys? What can you hear in their music that reminds you of something else? If you can find anything.
There are some songs that I was thinking about Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, good.
Because I like a lot Guns N' Roses, and these songs were pretty good.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I like about them, about Nothing Good, is that they do everything good, which is why I say that they should change the name of the band. Really, they do everything good, everything well, in the sense that they pay very good tribute to all the good bands in rock music. I think they have very clear influences, which you can find in you can find some AC/DC in them. In fact, I know both Gabriel and Jorge love AC/DC themselves. You can also find some Nirvana, if you know who that is. You can also find Led Zeppelin. So yeah, there's all the good bands in the history of rock music are present in their music as well, and that's not easy to do, I think. Right, that was the end of that, really. I really wanted to discuss Gabriel's album with you, and I thank you very much for joining me today here in the show. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
This is Valley FM.
Tired of leaving school and having to take the bus? Do not suffer anymore. Now, with our premium limousine service, you can go home comfortably, and the best thing is that you will not have to share a seat with anyone. Before, at 50 euros a month, now only at 49.99. Do not miss this incredible offer. Call now and get your premium limousine service.
You're listening to Valley FM.
Right, nothing good here on Valley FM. That's it for our music section of the show today, really. We hope that you enjoyed that. It will be no surprise, I think, because I've sort of hinted that it will happen at some point during this week or next week. There will be an interview here on the show to both Jorge and Gabriel, the members of Nothing Good. Tell us if you like them. Give us a comment in the comment section. I think you could see that Nothing Good is also a fan of the show, and they are listening to us and telling us that they really like what we are doing with their music, which it makes us really, really happy. Right, to close today's show, today's program, I think this morning we were talking about the third of ESO's project, dubbing project, the speaking project. If you will remember, if you were listening, if you weren't, then be sure to check it out as soon as this live is over. Just play that again from the start, and you'll find it in the first hour. In the description of the video, there's a more detailed timetable. So we were talking about that project, and for anyone who is interested in knowing how we came up with the idea, how those things we were talking about, which might have been a bit abstract if you don't know which apps we were talking about or anything, we are about to show you a tutorial on how to dub videos, how to use photos, the photo editor we were talking about this morning, for that. So check it out. Hello guys, this is a video to explain and maybe make a little bit clearer what you have to do, what you guys have to do for the speaking project, the dubbing project, that is, for Kieran and myself. Remember, you have the whole third term to finish this, but that is tricky because next week we go on holidays, and that means schools are out for a couple of weeks, and then when we come back, it will be almost the end of April. We'll be in the middle of April, really, but what I'm trying to say is that we don't have doing this once a week, we don't have that much time really. So let me start by pointing your attention towards the task. Where we find a task? Here, dubbing project. Let me tell you how I got here. In Teams, you in the menus here on the left, you choose assignments. When you obviously press on assignments, yes, sorry, because I am in assignments, it won't let me press on assignments. I press assignments, choose our class, whatever it is, okay, and go to dubbing projects, okay. Now, once you're in the dubbing project, this is what you will see. I see it differently, obviously, but this is what you will see, together with a button that says upload work. Now, remember, the final work that you will upload is, and let me be very clear with this, is a video. Please do not upload different audio recordings separate from the video, or text, or any of that, okay? It has to be a video. So please start making plans for finishing that video and seeing how long this will take you by the end of the term, okay, which is early June. So please do not leave everything for the end, because you will be missing 2.5. We will not give extended deadlines or anything, okay? Now, for this week, to begin with, how do we actually do this? The first thing, obviously, is you have divided the work. How do you divide the work? Well, the first thing you do is you download our already cropped video. The final version of the video I want you to dub is this one, the dubbing project one, not the one you find in OneNote, okay? So you click on download, and what you will get is your dubbing project video here in your computer. You find that in your files, wherever that is. I'm using Windows for this activity. but it might be Mac. In Mac you use Finder. Right click on that project and you open it with Photos. If you're using Windows, again, if you're using Mac, you will have to use iMovie. I might make a second video for this with using Mac for Mac users. If you guys want to use Mac instead, I'll try to help you with that. So with Photos, with Windows 10, super easy. Okay, you open it with Photos. Once you have your video here, make sure it's this one again, dubbing project. You click on this little icon here that looks like like a crayon or a pencil and a brush. You click on that and choose create a video with text. What this is gonna do is it's gonna create a project, a video project that I want you to name, for example, English project or English speaking project. Okay, now this will be the only video here, but if you were doing several different cuts of the same video, you can include them all here. Okay, you add them here, but this time we'll just be using this little video of 1.58 1 minute 58 seconds. Now, how do we actually include audio files here? Okay, you go to these 3 points here, you can see more, and choose customize audio or personalized audio. Now this is pretty straightforward. You can just drag the audio files that you have in your computer. Let's say, for example, they are stored here in music. You take the files and you would drag them here, or you can also click on add audio file and choose them from your computer. Now you will be asking yourselves, and where are those files? Well, that's what you have to start producing now. You will watch the video. Let's say you're here, for example, and you know you are Butters or Kyle. Sorry, this is Stan. Kyle is that one. It's Stan or Cardman. You speak for him for as long as he pronounces those words. Okay, just playing it without the sound, trying to make your voice fit the string of time, the period of time when he is speaking. Okay, to make it look like you are speaking for him. When it coincides, when it fits perfectly, you record that file, that audio, and send it to the person, to the one of you in the group who is doing this. Okay, who is putting this together. If you're working if different people are working in the same file, I suggest that you guys break it into 30 seconds each. If there's 4 of you, for example, or something like that, because if you all touch the same fragment, it's probably not going to work, because you might overstep the audios of one another. Okay, so let's say, for example, to give you an example, okay, I record my voice with the app to record voice here, which it doesn't let me do in my case, but well, I'm having difficulties here with configuration. But imagine I record my voice with my phone. I then send that to my email. Okay, my voice memos, send them to my email, and then from the email I download them, the files, and then add them here. It is very easy to do that. Okay, once you have that file, let me find a file of audio so I can show you how it's done. I don't think I have one in this computer, because it is a replacement computer. We all know why, if you don't remember. Anyway, here's an audio file, for example, this one. Yeah, I have this audio file that I drag to my to here, okay, to my project of the video. It says adding files, and what's going to happen now, you will see, is that it's going to let me choose exactly where I want to add it and for how long I want it to play. So even if the audio is, let's say, a few seconds longer than it should be, I can still crop it to what I need. You will understand that in a minute. This might take a while, obviously. Some files are longer than others. The one I chose now, because I don't have anything else, is 10 minutes long. So obviously it will take a while. But when it's there, you will see here the length of the audio, which again you can crop to what you need. If this takes too long, then there it is. So there is the audio that I want to use. You can also look. Let's say, for example, I want this audio file. Let's say that I only want the first 10 seconds. I don't know, the first some seconds of my audio file, and I want them here when Cartman starts to speak. So I make it coincide, the beginning of that, I make it coincide with the line where I am playing. Okay. One thing that you shouldn't forget is that when you are here, when you're looking at this screen, is that you should adjust the volume to 0. The reason for that is because if you want to add your personalized, your customized audio files, it's going to you will hear both things at the same time. And what I want you to do is basically to give voice to them. So when they laugh like this, you have to laugh. Everybody who is participating in this. Okay, so make sure you record a fragment where everybody's laughing. For those examples of audio when everybody's talking at the same time, what you can do is video call one another, or make a WhatsApp call, use Skype for that, whatever, and record the voice when you guys are all laughing at once. Okay. Well, that was it for today. We'd like to say hello to Angela, who is probably listening to us. She's a teacher, one of the best English teachers I have met in my career. I haven't met many, I have to say, but but of the ones I have met, I'm still young. I can meet many. Of the ones I've met, she's definitely one of the best. An inspiration, definitely. We'd also like to thank Nothing Good, as always, for providing us with their music. Without them, in fact, Valley FM would be nothing. We'll be back tomorrow with more of everything. More live lessons, more fun stuff, if you will. More tutorials, perhaps. Debates, games, and definitely more music. Bye.
Say what is happening. Give me an opportunity. You say that you belong to me. Now you are ignoring me.